So now that the housekeeping is out of the way, again, welcome to our fifth in our webinar series, QA Essentials. I'm Andrea Zens. As I said before, I'm one of the product managers here at Standard Imaging. I'm responsible for our QA management software platform, which is QA Pilot, our QA Stereo Checker, mainly for CyberKnife QA, also our Stereotactic Phantoms, and our brachytherapy portfolio. And I'm very lucky that I'm here today with my colleague, Kraig Krause, who is our customer care director. And today we're here to talk about experts on your side. So Kraig, I know that you've put together an excellent customer care team. Why don't you start by introducing the audience to your team?
Great. Yeah, I would be happy to. And welcome everyone to the meeting. So again, my name is Kraig, and I'm the customer care director here at Standard Imaging. And we've got a great team, got over 30 years of experience working with Standard Imaging products. So I'll start on the left side. We've got from top to bottom, our longest tenured person, Andrew, is on the top, and then in the middle we've got Kevin, and then Peter at the bottom. And then on the right side we've got our international team. And at the top, again from top to bottom, Brian is located in China. Joshua in the middle there is based out of France, but he does a lot of international travel for us. And then finally we have Joshua Masai, who is based out of India.
That is great. Thank you for doing that. Hang on, I am lost in my world here. Sorry about that. So anyway, again, thanks, Kraig, for your introductions. I'm sure our audience appreciates being able to put faces with the names that they've seen on emails and on web chats and so on. So I don't know if our listeners actually know what Standard Imaging's mission is, and it plays into the whole customer care scenario, so I'd like to just read that for you. Standard Imaging's mission is to provide valued products and resources to the medical physics community by wisely leveraging technology and fostering relationships to achieve both customer and employee loyalty. And I believe within that framework, Kraig, that you and your team have a mission statement as well. Isn't that correct?
That is true. So our team mission is to create a positive relational customer experience.
So that's great. And that sounds like a very lofty goal. But can you explain what that means in more concrete terms for our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to. So we always want to put ourselves in our customers' shoes and treat them as if we were the ones who needed the assistance. So we sincerely want our customers to have a great experience with our products. So we take a very personal approach in our interactions, but we also understand many of our customers are extremely busy. And the reason they are calling is because they have either a question on our product, they're new to our product, or they're maybe running into some unexpected issues. So our goal is to take a very logical approach to diagnose the issue and provide the answer as quickly as possible. Also, however, we also don't want to just provide an answer. We want to make sure we get the right answer. So with the vast array of products that we support, we don't always have the answer right off the top of our head. And that's one of the things I love about working here at Standard Imaging is we've got an entire staff that stands behind us and our products. So I've interacted really almost on a daily basis with our product managers, our engineers, our service team. So it's really the whole organization that stands behind our customer support.
Yeah, and I can attest it's great working with you because I know you're always striving to get really that right customer for the answer. And it's just such a pleasure to help support you in order to support our customers. So again, like I said, it's a really great goal. Creating trust and sort of, the confidence in your team or in Standard Imaging generally, that doesn't magically happen, I suppose. So what types of services does your team provide that really helps our customers and help you build the trust with your customer base?
Yeah, so the first thing that we have is we have multiple channels to communicate with us. It starts with the phone, obviously, during normal business hours. I would say it's very rare that you're ever going to get a message. You're almost always going to be speaking to someone. But you can also contact us through emails. We have web forms and web chat with which also allows us to do remote assistance. And we're really looking to expand those channels of communication in the future. We also try to be proactive. When customers purchase our products, oftentimes we'll try to reach out, usually within the first couple months, just to confirm they've received the products, and make sure that, we can answer any questions and maybe give them some tips and tricks to getting started with our assistance.
So your team, according to this list, really is responsible for a lot of direct services to our customers. And I see that first on the list is on-site or remote training. Can you tell us why you think that's important?
I would love to, yeah. So I think setup and training is really key to helping customers getting started on the right foot. Anytime you start out using something new, it helps to provide, it really helps to have a good foundation. So setup and training helps in many ways. It allows our customer care team to develop their relationships with our customers. And I think anytime you have that personal connection, I think it really adds to the overall experience. Finally, it really helps the site set aside time to learn the product. And again, creating that good foundational knowledge, which enables them to start using our solutions quicker and with more confidence.
Yeah, that sounds like you cover a lot of information while you're on site with customers. Also know that these trips just don't magically happen, as to say. So how does your team actually prepare for doing on-site setup and training?
Yeah, so we have a project plan. It's actually called the statement of work. And each statement of work for each product is obviously slightly different, but they act as a guide for us to successfully deploy standard imaging solutions. The statement of work really helps us establish a schedule, creates discussion points for prerequisites, and identify key contributors to successfully deploy the solution. We then talk about what is covered in the setup and training, and finally, after the setup and training is completed, we always like to schedule a 2-week follow-up just to make sure that the customer has been happy with the product, answer any questions or concerns that they might have in the 2 weeks that have come up.
Yeah, that follow-up seems to me important because you learn what you learn, just like in this webinar, you learn what you learn and then ask questions afterwards. And I just, knowing how the advances in radiation therapy treatments and the treatment machines themselves, how that means that physicists not only have more QA to do, but that QA is more complex. So checking in seems like a really valuable thing to do. So the statement of work is a great document. How do you share that with the customers?
That's a great question, Andrea. So we usually have what's called a kickoff meeting. It's usually a very quick meeting, usually about 30 minutes, but can take a little longer. But it's a great way to really get everybody on the same page. Everybody from, standard imaging side, but also from the client side, including their physicists, their IT team, to make sure, that we kind of cover everything and discover anything that might derail a project.
That's important. So the statement of work is one document that you use to support your efforts. I'm assuming that you probably have other documents or procedures in place to guide the whole project, if you will.
Yeah, that is true. There's multiple documents, and one of the main ones that we use is our training checklist for planning and the execution of the statement of work. The setup and training checklist is a comprehensive list of all the tasks that need to be completed as a part of the setup and training. This covers everything from deployment to walking through the software with the SI expert. But we also usually have the customer get hands-on experience working with the products. And so they are confident moving forward after we leave.
Yeah, hands-on. I love it. It's like I'm not an online shopper because I got to get my hands on it.
Right.
Anyway, so it's obvious from everything that you've said, Craig, that collaboration and the organization really are of that collaboration is really key to setup and training success. And I am sure that our customers appreciate all the thought and effort that you and your team put into that. So once you leave the customer to their own devices, what kind of assistance does your team offer then?
Yeah, so along with the 2-week follow-up that I had mentioned, after the setup and training is complete, we obviously have those different channels of communication, email, phone, and web, as I mentioned those earlier. And we cover a lot as part of the customer care team. We provide links to download the software versions of the software. We help with licensing along with general application support. And we can also help with IT questions as it relates to our products.
Sounds like enough to keep your team busy, especially as you mentioned at the very beginning, the vast array of products offered by Standard Imaging, and really the great number of customers that we have throughout the world using those products. Knowing that a lot of people don't, maybe somebody doesn't get to reach you by phone, or some people prefer to find things on their own first. Do we have any online resources available for our customers?
We do. If people log on to our website, they can join our customer care portal. The customer care portal provides personalized product access to self-help things like downloadable user manuals, publications, FAQs. Customers can also find their calibration reports, status of open cases, links to download the most current versions of their software, and of course their software licenses.
Oh, that's a wealth of information for sure. That's absolutely excellent. And speaking of excellence, really kudos to your team. I have to say that when I'm out and about or get the chance to talk to customers, I hear nothing but really great feedback about how kind your team is, the patients, really getting them the answers that they need in a timely manner. But that's, a lot of anecdotal evidence, which is wonderful. But I'm thinking that you, as a customer care director, probably want to measure that, your success, right? So how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, like you said, it's really important for us to measure our team performance and making sure that we're meeting our customers' expectations. So we have an ongoing survey that we offer through email. We usually try to send that out after we have a support case, and we keep a close eye on that feedback. Obviously, we are not perfect, so it is always important for us to know what our customer experience is. And one of the ways we measure the customer satisfaction is something called a Net Promoter Score. So the scoring system for the Net Promoter Score is largely based on customer satisfaction. And it has a scale of -100 to a +100. So if you look at that across all industries, the average Net Promoter Score is around 43. But for Standard Imaging, we currently sit at, and we've been kind of hovering around this 75 for about 2 years.
Wow. It's really nice to see that customer care scores so highly on that Net Promoter Score. I always knew you guys were above average. So, but it is good to have the numbers. I know as a director, that's something you want to track. Well, for me, that kind of covered the overview of your customer care and what you offer. So that brings me to questions. I'm going to take a look here. I did monitor a little bit throughout, and I think we have one or two here. Let me look. And it looks like one of the questions I have here is one of the things on your list was preventive maintenance, on-site preventive maintenance. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so when customers purchase maintenance contracts, they have the option to purchase on-site maintenance. And so, for example, for our DoseView 3D system, we actually go on-site, and a lot of times we try to schedule that on-site right before that they're going to do their annuals or their commissioning, and we kind of run through a battery of tests just to make sure that the Doseview 3D system is really working, so that when they actually do their annuals or their commissioning, that they don't run into any issues. Especially a lot of times they're doing that after hours.
That seems fair. Let me take a look again here. I think I got one last question, which is about help after, standard business hours. What's that like?
Yeah, so obviously, we have our standard operating hours, but we have a lot of customers. We're an international based company, so we have a lot of international sites as well. And so anytime, that they need assistance that maybe are after our normal business hours, yeah, we usually like to schedule that and we make ourselves available. We've kind of done support really at all hours of the day, including, early in the morning. So we want to be available for our customers because it's really important.
That is awesome. Well, I am not seeing any more questions. So with that, honestly, that does bring us to the end of our time together today. I did want to just say thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And it occurs to me that this is the last time, the last webinar of 2023. So I do want to wish everybody a very happy, safe holiday season. And I hope we see you in 2024 for our next webinar series. Thanks so much, everyone. And Craig, do you want to wish ahead of
Oh, yes, of
anything?
course, absolutely. Thanks everyone for joining. Hopefully we answered some of your questions, and certainly if you have any more, please contact us. But yeah, happy holidays and have a great rest of the day wherever you may be.
Yeah, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.